Everybody talks about new habits that you have to have after the age of 50, but nobody talks about the ones that are silently sabotaging your every move. I'm going to tell you which ones I had to kill first. Hi, I am Dr. Cheryl Russell. I am a former C-suite executive that had to reinvent her entire life at the age of 52. It wasn't because I wanted to, it was because life told me, girl, you have no other choice. So I had to move forward, and I had to walk through your shoes that you are right now. And I have developed a channel that hopefully will give you more tools and clarity than I had when I walked through this stage of my life. If you are over 50 and you're looking for clarity, confidence, and a fresh new chapter, then you are exactly where you need to be. What I'm about to show you is tactical information, something that you can use right now. And it's backed by neuroscience. So it explains to us how our brains can keep learning way into our 70s. So if you're wanting to rewire your brain, you can start right here. Let's go. So here is what we are going to cover today. The one morning habit that cut my brain fog in half, and why most people do it backwards. Why your productive routines might keep you exhausted. The 5-minute reset that literally changed my nervous system. Stanford research explains why. How I rebuilt my identity without burning everything down. The habit that gave me more energy at 55 than I had at 45. Stick around because I'm also going to share with you the exact tracking system that I use. Free, no fluff. So habit number 1, I stopped optimizing my mornings like it was a performance review, and I started protecting them. For years, I thought was the perfect morning routine. You wake up, you've hit the snooze button 3 times, you jump out of bed, you yell down the hall to wake up the kids, you listening to the news while you're getting ready, you have no time to go to the gym because you're late, you go downstairs, hope the kids are there, you eat whatever you can, and then you take the kids and you run out the door hoping to get them on time to school so you can be at work at 8 a.m. I was exhausted by 10 a.m. Here is what I do now. The first 30 minutes, zero input, no phones, no news. I'm not going to try and solve anybody's problems. The first 30 minutes is mine. As I slowly wake up, my puppies are at my feet. So, of course, I have to get a little dopamine hit from them and slowly waking up to the new day. Number 3 is I move my body a way that feels good. No rushing, no pressure, and I just lay there and stretch a bit. Number 4, I get on my workout clothes, and within the hour, I am at the gym starting my workout routine. To me, moving my body in a very healthy way is priority number 1. And lastly, I come home and I eat a very high protein, healthy breakfast. In a 2019 study in Frontiers in Psychology found that the first 90 minutes after waking are critical for cortisol regulation. When you flood that window with stress inputs, emails, news, other people's agendas, you dysregulate your entire day. Your brain at 50 needs recovery time, not optimization time. I promise you, protecting your mornings like they're sacred will do more for you than any productivity hack ever will. Number 2 is schedule white space like it was an actual board meeting. After 50, we just don't have downtime anymore. Here's the truth. Your exhaustion isn't from doing too much. It's actually from not doing anything. Take a moment and just look out the window. Just think. Research from UCLA's Mindfulness Awareness Research Center shows that our brains need unstructured time to process, integrate, and create. Without it, we operate on survival mode. And survival mode at 50 means brain fog, decision fatigue, and why nothing feels exciting anymore. This is what I do. I try and block a 2-hour time frame sometime in the week. You can find 2 hours within a week. And I call it Cheryl time. It's non-negotiable. It's for me and me only. I'm not with anybody. I'm not watching TV. There's no agenda, no productivity. It just gives me time to think. I'm just giving my brain a rest, and it's amazing how it starts to think about things because you're not bombarding it. Sometimes I may walk. Sometimes I may look out the window. Sometimes I may sit outside and just be in nature. All of this matters because that white space really helps you work through problems and get you to imagine and create without putting all these other pressures on it. It's where some of my best ideas show up underneath all these roles that I play. If you're over 50 and you're feeling lost, you're not broken. Because giving yourself a little bit of white space helps you find yourself again. Habit number 3 is I track my energy, not my time. And this blew me away. When I found out about this, I was amazed the mind shift that it made me have. For decades, I managed my time like a project. I had calendars, I had to-do lists, I had time blocking. Everything was completely played out. I still felt behind and drained even after all of that organization. And then I found research from Tony Schwartz's Energy Project. And he said managing energy, not time, is the key to sustain high performance and well-being. And here's the shift. Instead of asking, do I have time for this? I ask, do I have the energy for this? And if you were in the last video, very similar way to put it is, how does it make me feel? Is this positive energy? Is this negative energy? It was mind-blowing what came out of it. I created a time tracker. I tracked my activities for a week. I had green, which obviously got me excited and creative. I had a yellow, and then I had a red, which just sucked all the energy out of me. After a couple days, I could tell exactly what drained all my energy. So I started designing my days around more green activities. And sometimes you can't help but take a red activity as part of your day. Sometimes it's inevitable. However, after that red activity, I made sure I had recovery and downtime from it. And what this gave me, even this stage of my life, it gave me more sustained energy. It's not because I'm superhuman. It's because I realized how energy makes me feel. And how do I want to feel every single day? Now, if you are nodding yes to what you have heard so far, please do me a favor and click the subscribe button. That shows me that people are interested in my content, and it keeps me motivated to keep making videos. So I would love to see you on this platform and within this community, helping me help you to live our lives with clarity, confidence, and a fresh new chapter. Thank you very much. Habit number 4 is I rewired my nervous system with these micro resets. Now listen, these are super easy. You can do them anytime, and it really does work. So as soon as I started having kids, trying to be the best mom ever, you're trying to grow in your career and develop it into something amazing. You know, it's just a lot of pressure. It wasn't dramatic and it wasn't a crisis. It just was this constant low-grade anxiety that I experienced. You know what I'm talking about, that feeling that you're just waiting for the next shoe to drop and what new fire you have to put out. All this time, I always felt that low-grade anxiety made me feel like I was being responsible, like this is how it should be. Turns out it was chronic nervous system dysregulation. According to Dr. Andrew Huberman's research at Stanford, our nervous system controls everything: our mood, energy, decision-making, and even how our body ages. When you're stuck in that sympathetic overdrive of fight or flight, that's not good for your body. It's not good for anybody. You can't think clearly, you can't feel joy, and you definitely cannot reinvent your life. And the fix wasn't complicated. It just helped when you did it consistently. And it was very simple. I started doing a 5-minute nervous system reset. I would schedule these throughout the day. It would basically be breathing in for 4 to 6 to 8 seconds, holding it for that long, and then breathing out. It basically is just a box breathing exercise. Now, I definitely do this still to this day every night when I'm going to bed. It's just something that I focus on my breath, and it really relaxes me to go to sleep very quickly. So try it. If you feel yourself getting overwhelmed or anxious, try this box breathing method. You can also put cold water on your face for 30 seconds, and that stimulates your vagus nerves, as well as bilateral tapping, maybe on your shoulders. I know I experience this if I'm a little anxious getting blood work or a shot. One of the nurses may hold my hand or just tap me on the shoulder, which kind of directs your energy to that area instead of the shot they're about to give you. And these are all 3 basic, easy techniques that you can use anytime, anywhere. They don't cost money. Within weeks, your anxiousness could drop and you could see improvements in your sleep. This really isn't a self-care. It's more like a self-preservation. And if you're 50, and if you're trying to build a new life and your nervous system feels like they're being chased by a tiger, give this a try. Regulate your nervous system first, then reinvent. Habit 5 is I built identity-based habits, not goal-based. This one is actually so powerful, and it helped me with that breakthrough when I was first reinventing. Most habits are, I want to lose 20 pounds or I want to start a business. Here's what I learned from James Clear's Atomic Habits. Goals focus on outcome, but identity focuses on who you want to become. So at 52, when I started reinventing myself, I didn't need another goal. I needed to become a different person. So instead of saying, I want to lose 20 pounds, I would say, you know what? I want to be a person who wakes up every morning and moves their body. Instead of saying, I want to write a book, I started saying, I am a writer. Instead of saying, I want to learn how to paint, I would say, I am an artist. Every moment, every movement gave proof to my identity right now. Over time, that identity became real because I believed it. Research from Stanford psychologist B.J. Fogg shows that when behaviors align with identity, it sticks. You're not trying to change your habits. You're trying to become somebody new, and that is reinvention. Let's talk about what nobody tells you. When you're over 50, you know you need some new habits, right? But you try them and nothing ever sticks. And why is that? Maybe it's because habits are built for 30-something-year-olds who have endless amounts of energy and zero responsibility. Well, that is not us today. Today, we are helping our aging parents. Today, we may have children leaving the house. We may have a different relationship with our spouse. We may We maybe even had a health scare. Our brain is different now. A 2020 study in the Nature Neuroscience found that dopamine production declines with age, making it harder to feel motivated by the same rewards that used to work. That's why just do it doesn't cut for us anymore. You need habits that work with your midlife brain, not against it. You need shifts that work. You need systems, not shame. And you need to stop comparing your reinvention to somebody else's. Your second chapter doesn't look like anybody else's. It never will. But you can build your second chapter today. What would happen if you committed to these 5 habits over the next couple weeks or a couple months? I bet you'd get better sleep. Your brain fog might be cut in half. You might see a rise in your energy levels. But the real shift is that you're going to stop trying to just survive in life. And you're going to make decisions to start designing it. I personally have launched projects that I've talked about for years. I rebuilt relationships that I haven't had in years. I looked in the mirror and I just didn't recognize myself. It's not because I wasn't me anymore. It's because I became more of who I actually am. And that is available to you right now. Not someday, but today. These habits, they aren't magical, but they do compound. And in 6 months, you're either going to wish that you started today or you will be glad that you started today. So let's recap. Here is what we covered today. Protect your mornings instead of optimizing them. Your cortisol regulation depends on it. Schedule white space like it's sacred because your brain needs room to integrate and create. Track your energy, not just your time, and design your days around what actually fuels you. Use 5-minute nervous system resets. Regulate first, then reinvent. Build identity-based habits. Become the person you want to be, one small proof at a time. You're not starting over. You're stepping into the version of yourself you've been preparing for your whole life. If this video helped you today, please share it with somebody else who you think may benefit from hearing this information. And don't forget, in the description is a link to your free Midlife Reinvention Toolkit. Remember, your second chapter has not ended yet. It is starting right now. See you in the next video.